When it comes to Australian platforming mascots, a certain Tasmanian tiger is probably the first thing to come to mind, but Tai isn't the only platforming mammal to hail from Australia. Here we've got Kao the Kangaroo, a somewhat obscure platformer for the Sega Dreamcast, also releasing on Windows. It was created by a Polish studio called Tate Interactive. Just looking at that cover, I'm getting hella Rayman 2 vibes. I mean, look at that. Look at that. You know, it's been a while since I played a Sega Dreamcast game on the show, but yeah, let's see what this kangaroo can do. Woo. The game starts out with a little scene of Kao snoozing, being lazy, you know, the life, and then this jerk-off butterfly comes and wakes him up. "I'm coming after you, little frick, get back here." Then from the bushes comes a hunter who traps Kao, imprisoning him in a cage. Alone in his cell at night, he spots a pair of boxing gloves and... Huh? How do we get here from the... Man, they really don't give us much to go on. I mean, they cut from him in jail straight to the level. What's the goal here? Was that not us in the prison? Supposedly you're saving Kao's family. It was them that were imprisoned by the hunter. It wasn't communicated well at all, but, you know, who cares? Starting a new game gives you a difficulty option, not something you really see in platformers. Weird. Let's just go with normal, I guess. And yeah, it's a pretty typical platformer. Controls are pretty straightforward. You've got a jump, a tail attack, and a punch attack. I don't really know the purpose of the tail attack. It seems just to be the same thing as the punch, but it just doesn't do as good a job. But yeah, that's about it. You don't really get much simpler than that. Level design is pretty straightforward too. Most levels are just go straight the video game. It shares the same kind of simplicity that the Crash games strive for, and if Crash has proven anything, it's that a simple game can be really fun. And what's simpler than a boxing kangaroo? You know, it's a classic. Each level is completed by simply reaching the end. On the way, you'll jump across platforms, collect coins, and fight the occasional enemy. There's also boxing gloves you can collect, which will grant Kao a flying punch. These can take out foes from a distance and are great for knocking out those harder to get by enemies. The standard attack is something I could never really get a feel for. Half the time I hit them just fine, but I often end up taking a hit before I can hit them back, especially on these damn penguins and their long-ass spikes that they'll stab you with. I can't stand these guys. These are the guys I'd often save the flying punches for. There's also these flags I keep finding. No idea what they do. There's also a speed power-up that makes Kao run actually like a kangaroo. It'll temporarily increase your speed, which is really helpful. Problem is, it only lasts like 6 seconds. Kao's regular top speed is a little slow for my liking. It at least makes the jumps easy enough to land accurately. I mean, you're definitely not going to be overshooting anything here, but man, if you're an impatient person that likes to go fast, this is not going to be the game for you. There's no hub world or interesting map, it's just an extremely generic level select boasting 30 levels. Wait, 30? The back of the game case claims there's 45, unless it's counting the bonus stages, but I can't really say those would count. Most of the levels have a hidden bonus stage. It's just an opportunity to collect more coins and get extra lives. It's definitely not something I'd consider an extra stage. What else do they lie about on the back of the game case? Incredible graphics. No, the game doesn't look that much better than an N64 game, really. I mean, it's definitely not terrible, but it's definitely not incredible. 3 difficulty levels? Yeah, it's got that, strangely enough. Bonuses, power-ups, awesome music. Yeah, okay, I'll give them that one. The game's got some solid music. It's pretty groovy. A lot of drums and some nice synth in there too. It's not half bad. Throughout the game, you'll see a variety in settings. You'll go from a snow theme to a desert, a jungle, a dock, and a swamp. None of them really change much gameplay-wise. I guess there's ice you can skate on in the snow levels, but that's about it. There's even a couple levels that take place in outer space, which I don't know how he got there. He's even got a cute little space helmet that he wears in these levels, which I do really like. It reminds me of Gex 2 and 3, how Gex would wear different costumes in different levels. The levels really don't get that complicated. Like I said before, it's pretty much go straight the video game. There is this boat level I really like though. You really gotta try and figure out which series of platforms to take. It's a nice slight deviation from the game's strict linearity. But then there's these levels that are just a maze and they're not fun at all. There's 2 to be exact, both in the swamp. I kept getting lost and finding myself back where I started. There were all these destructible walls that just led to another wall behind it. What's the point of that? I feel as if they were planning on having something behind them, like coins or a power-up, but they forgot to put them in or something? I don't know, it just struck me as weird. A handful of these stages are boss fights, and they are insultingly easy. Take the first guy, for instance. You just make him walk under this anvil, it falls on him, and you punch him while he's down. Do this 3 times, and he is done. You can beat most of these bosses in less than 40 seconds. I do admire how they put them in a boxing ring to keep that theme of a boxing kangaroo, but man, they really didn't put any effort into these boss fights. Every now and then, Kao will get to pilot a vehicle. We've got a hang glider, a jet ski, snowboard, a spaceship-looking thing, and a crocodile. These stages are fast-paced. You can get some serious speed. Oh, crashing into something is an instant death. And not just on the snowboard, that applies to every vehicle in the game. If you go even remotely fast, you're gonna crash, and you're gonna die, and you're gonna do the whole level over. Okay, never mind. Since the game doesn't want you to have any fun, you'll be playing each one slow as dick. This is so backwards. I just want to go full speed, but doing that is way too risky. You're just gonna plow through all of your lives that way. You shouldn't die for touching a wall. Why can't it just take out a little bit of health like any other reasonable game would? Getting a game over sucks too. It sends you back to the title screen, and since the game doesn't autosave, you're gonna have to hope that you remember to save manually. Do yourself a favor and save every time you beat a level, unless you want to lose a lot of progress. If you ever get worried that you're low on lives, do yourself a favor, just exit the stage and re-enter the level. All of your lives will be back. Now that's a loophole if I've ever seen one. Speaking of losing progress, I hate how dying works. No matter how far you get in a stage, you go back to the very beginning when you die. And it's not like a hard game either, but slip up once and you're going all the way back to the beginning. It makes the game so much more stressful than it needs to be. Why not have checkpoints? It's just so... What? What did I just... Huh? Oh, you put your own checkpoints down. Oh, that's what those flags are for. How did I do that? What did I press? You hold down L and press X. L and X. How was I... The game never tells you that. Not once does the game ever tell you how to use checkpoints, or that even checkpoints exist for that matter. How was I supposed to figure that out? L and X, why such an arbitrary combination? Why not map it to the D-pad? I mean, the D-pad doesn't even do anything other than move your character, which is pointless if you can use the stick. Maybe I should have read the manual? I wonder if it's even in the manual. Let's check. Oh, here it is, checkpoints. It gives you the freedom of placing checkpoints wherever you need them. Place icons where you want, to reappear. Well, cool. You could still tell me, like, how to do it. Oh, it says in the controls how to do it. Well, that's stupid. Even still, I mean, such an important part of the game shouldn't be such an obtuse thing to figure out. Oh, and we've got the enemies page. What do we got here? Pig with a lollipop club? Yeah, great name. A sailor who would love nothing more than to swab the deck with Kao? What? A toothy shark hungry for some kangaroo sandwich. What is with these enemy names? Oh my god, the last 2 enemies are in their T-pose. They didn't even pose the models. I have never seen anything like this, never in my life. I mean, it seems like a mistake, yeah, but it's not 1, but 2 characters. 2 characters in the T-pose, the reference pose for 3D modeling. And I mean, like, it's not like the manual would have taken that long to proofread either. It's only, what, 12 pages long. It would have taken 2 minutes to look over the thing for errors. How they consciously put those images in this manual and shipped it with the game, I don't know. How did they do it? Well, like, at least the character design isn't too bad. At least on the main character, it's a little on the plain side, but there's something about those big eyes that really get me. You guys know I'm a sucker for cute characters, and Kao's a step in the right direction for me. He's got some nice idle animations, too. Yeah, we'll get going. Come on, little guy. When you go in the water, his neck gets longer, so his head's always above the water. Oh my god. Why? Hey, this is the kind of stupid, quirky thing I love to see in games like this. I just want to give this kangaroo a big hug, dude. Like, I don't care. I don't even want to know. I don't even... is my favorite thing in this whole game. This has made the game worthwhile. This has made the game worthwhile. Man, the ending too. The final boss is pathetic, but the following cutscene was totally worth playing this entire game for. Kao puts the hunter in the cage, and the other kangaroos pick it up and march down to the beach with Kao riding on top. They let the hunter out on the shore, and utterly defeated, he rows away in shame while the kangaroos celebrate. This bit right here, it's just so absurd, so adorable. Man, this game, it's definitely not the most well-made or impressive game I've ever played, but it's innocent and lovable in its own way. It was made by a really small studio. I remember reading something online about how they were really excited at 45,000 sold copies. That's not a whole lot, but hey, it was a lot to them, so good on them. It's a pretty easy game, and it's a pretty simple game, but I had an okay time playing it. It's definitely not the worst thing I ever played. It's definitely a lot better once you realize how the checkpoint system works. I can easily say I liked it a lot more than Torque, Prehistoric Punk, which was linear in a very similar kind of way, but I just found this one really boring, and the characters were really unappealing. Unlike Kao, which, you know, at least he's got a cute kangaroo dude, so... It's baby's first Crash Bandicoot, really, but it's not the worst thing I've ever played. I wasn't like having a blast, but I wasn't bored either. It could definitely be a bit more fast-paced, that's for sure. More forgiving with the instant deaths in the vehicle stages too, but, you know, it was alright. But that's not it for our good boy Kangaroo. He actually came back in a sequel on Xbox, GameCube, and PlayStation 2 in Kao Round 2. We'll be checking this one out next time. Until then... Oh. Why don't we see what this kangaroo can do?